Now let's go to one specific country where the things are unfolding and where I'm sure that we don't know very much about in the West because the news and what Amos Kraus said, the memory is sort of distorted also. Please, Rafał Pankowski.
Thank you very much. My name is Rafał Pankowski. I am a member of the Never Again Association, which is an anti-fascist, anti-racist organization based in Poland.
Can you speak a little louder?
I will do my best. I will try again. I am a member of the Never Again Association, which is an anti-racist and anti-fascist organization based in Poland. And I am grateful for inviting me to this discussion, which I find very interesting, both because of its timing, which is special, and also because of the framing of the title and the topic. So let me just share some brief comments and observations on several aspects of the topic, as well as the timing, which is the Victory Day, the Day of Liberation. In Poland today, unfortunately, the very idea of interpreting the 8th of May of 1945 as the Day of Liberation is under question. And that is demonstrated on many different levels, including the issue of naming public places such as streets. So today in Poland, it is very common to rename streets that include the word liberation when it is clear that it refers to the events of 1944-45. So it is state policy in Poland today to remove any references to the victory or to the liberation. And it is very much present in the ideology of one very important, very powerful institution in Poland today, which is called the Institute of National Memory, which is not only influential, but it is also very rich. It has more funding than all of the institutes of the Polish Academy of Sciences combined. And it is an instrument of so-called politics of history in Poland today, or history policy, if you like, polityka historyczna, which has been largely or almost completely hijacked by the far right today, to the point of glorifying far right groups that existed in Poland in the 1940s, some of which even collaborated with the Nazis. So it is a paradox, because on the one hand, Poland, of course, was the country that was the first country that resisted Nazi Germany during World War II. It is also the country that was one of the countries the most affected, the most destroyed by Nazi Germany. But in a country like that, we have some influential groups and institutions that actually glorify those who chose to collaborate with the Nazis. And in the most recent years, we have a really strange phenomenon of publications, books, that argue that Poland was on the wrong side in World War II, and it should have been on the side of Nazi Germany against the Soviet Union. And those books sell well. Those books sell very well, so there is a market for it. Some of those authors are quite well-known right-wing figures, and I think it is something that was very difficult to imagine even 10 years ago. And I think one of the reasons why it was difficult to imagine then was that there were still many people who lived through World War II and the Nazi occupation of Poland, and those people would not have approved of those ideas. There are still some of them who are still with us, but the number is shrinking, of course, and it's a new phenomenon. This type of historical revisionism in Poland is relatively recent, but it exists, and I think it is very worrying, and it is something that we watch and document, and we find it very problematic. So that is one thing I wanted to share with you, and I'm happy to give you more details if you are interested. But I want to say one or two other things also about the title "Never Again" and the motto of this discussion, which is also the name of our organization, which initially was the title of our magazine, Nigdy WIÍCEJ, Never Again, established by the late Marcin Kornak, who was the editor for many years. And for us, this title and the name of our organization, our association, has always been quite obvious. So we didn't really feel a particular need to discuss it, because we thought it was always self-explanatory. And I think that is understandable. Of course, we also understand that in our case, the phrase "never again" relates to Polish history and the history of resistance against Nazism and the history of the Holocaust that took place in Poland. But the phrase "never again" has also other meanings in different places all over the world. So I know there is an organization under the name "Never Again" in Rwanda, for example. I know there is an organization under the name "Never Again" in the Philippines. And of course, the motto "Never Again" applies to different tragedies and different atrocities and instances of genocide all over the world. So, for example, when we cooperate with our partners in Southeast Asia, in Cambodia, for example, it is very clear to them that they can also relate to the phrase "never again" in the context of the history of Cambodia and the Cambodian genocide. And of course, there are other examples. So I think that through that slogan, we can actually build global solidarity, and not only in dealing with the past, but also global solidarity in dealing with challenges that are contemporary challenges, contemporary instances of genocide and human rights abuses. What we have seen in Myanmar in recent times, and other big problems that we witness all over the world. I think the slogan "Never Again" has been criticized a lot, as a kind of futile phrase. But I think I do not agree with this criticism. I think the slogan is as valid as ever. And even if humanity has not managed to fulfill the slogan after 1945, it does not mean that we should get rid of it. On the contrary, I think we should think about it again. And that would be my contribution for today. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you. To make the bridge, which is not easy, between not only history as such, but the distortion of history through the eyes of contemporary far-right ideologies, and ending up with this call that we should do something about it.